I watch you when you are in a crowded room. I see the way you tilt your head to the side when someone starts to explain something very simple to you. You nod your head slowly. You part your lips just a little bit. You let your eyes go slightly out of focus. It is a perfect performance. To the rest of the world, you look confused. You look like you need help. You look like someone who is just trying to keep up with the conversation. But I see what happens in the split second before you put that mask on. I see the flash of recognition in your eyes. You already know what they are talking about. In fact, you probably know it better than they do. You could correct their pronunciation. You could fill in the dates they are missing. You could explain the nuance that they are completely ignoring. I see your throat move as you swallow the truth. You push the words back down. You make a choice to stay quiet. You ask a question that you already know the answer just to make them feel useful. Most people look at you and they see someone who is soft and harmless and perhaps a little bit slow. They think you are a passenger in your own life. They think the world happens to you and you just drift along with the current. They lower their voice when they speak to you like they are speaking to a child. They simplify their vocabulary. They feel big and important because they believe they are teaching you. I want you to know that I know the truth. You are not slow. You are not confused. You are the sharpest blade in the drawer, but you keep yourself in the sheath because you know what happens when you cut too deep. You are not drifting. You are steering the ship so gently that no one else even feels the turn. This is not ignorance. This is the art of playing the fool. And you are a master at it. It takes a terrified kind of intelligence to hide itself so well. I wonder when you learn it, that being smart was dangerous. I want to go back to the beginning of this silence. Because you were not always this quiet. I bet there was a time when you were loud with your knowing. Maybe you were the child in the back of the classroom with your hand raised so high it hurt your shoulder. You had all the answers. You absorbed books like air. You saw patterns in the carpet and the clouds and the behavior of adults that no one else saw. You were beaming with it. You wanted to share it. You thought the world wanted your light. But then the reality set in. You realized that being the one with the answers did not make people love you. It made them resent you. You saw the teacher sigh when you corrected her. You saw the other children roll their eyes when you spoke up. You felt the heavy cold jealousy radiating from people who were supposed to support you. You learned a very hard lesson very young. You learned that people do not want the truth. They want to be right. And perhaps there was a specific day when the backpack became too heavy. Being the smart one meant you carried the expectations of everyone. It meant you were never allowed to fail. It meant you had to fix everything. It meant you were a resource, not a person. You were a walking encyclopedia or a calculator or a therapist, but you were not a child. So you put it down. You decided to disappear. I can imagine the first time you tried it. Maybe it was at a dinner table. Someone said something that was factually wrong. Your instinct rose up like a wave. You wanted to fix it. But you looked at their face. You saw how fragile their ego was. You saw how much they needed to win. And for the first time you let it go. You said nothing. maybe you said, "Oh really, I did not know that." And you watched the tension vanish. You watched them smile. You watched them relax. You realized that by making yourself smaller, you made the room safer. You realized that playing dumb was the ultimate shield. When people think you do not understand, they stop fighting you. They stop expecting things from you. They leave you alone. It is a safety mechanism. I know it is. It is the camouflage of a creature that knows it is being hunted. If you are the smartest person in the room, you are a target. People want to challenge you. They want to knock you down. But if you are the fool, they welcome you. They let you sit in the corner. They let you watch. There is a deep bone-deep exhaustion in this, though. I feel that weight on you. It takes so much energy to dim your own light. It is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater forever. Your mind wants to run. It wants to leap over hurdles and solve complex puzzles. But you force it to walk. You force it to crawl. You have to constantly monitor your own speech to make sure you do not use words that are too abstract. You have to act surprised when people tell you things you figured out 3 years ago. You have to pretend to be shocked by outcomes you predicted from the very start. That is a lonely way to live. It creates a glass wall between you and the rest of the world. You are always acting. You are always on stage. Even when you are just buying coffee or talking to a neighbor, you are carefully curating a version of yourself that is palatable to them. You do it out of kindness too. I see that. It is not just about protecting yourself. It is about protecting them. You know that your full intensity is too much for most people. You have seen them shrink away when you get passionate about a topic. You have seen the glazed look in their eyes when you try to explain how you really feel. You do not want to make them feel small. You do not want to be the one who makes them feel inadequate. So you take the hit. You let them be the teacher. You let them be the expert. You give them that gift of feeling superior. But I wonder who takes care of you while you are taking care of their egos. I wonder who you talk to when your brain is overflowing with thoughts that are too big for the room. I wonder if you sometimes wish someone would look at you and see the galaxy burning behind your eyes. It must be strange to be surrounded by people and yet be completely unknown. They love a version of you that does not exist. They love the quiet, agreeable listener. They love the person who needs things explained. But that is not you. That is just the character you play to survive the day. You are the secret genius. You are the observer in the watchtower. While they are busy talking and posturing and trying to prove how much they know, you are noticing the way their hands shake when they lie. You are noticing the sadness they are trying to hide with anger. You see the connections between things that everyone else misses. Because they underestimate you, they drop their guard. This is your superpower, invisibility. And they say things in front of you that they would never say if they knew how much you understood. They treat you like part of the furniture. And so you learn all their secrets. You learn how the world really works while everyone else is distracted by the noise. You have chosen peace over power. In a world that is obsessed with being loud and being right, you have chosen the quiet path of the wise. You know that the loudest person in the room is usually the weakest. You know that true power does not need to announce itself. True power is being able to control the outcome of a situation without anyone knowing you did anything at all. But I know you are tired. I know that sometimes the mask feels tight and itchy on your skin. I know that sometimes you want to scream. You want to shake them and say, "Look at me. Look at what I can do. Listen to what I know. I see you. I see the library inside your head. I see the symphonies of thought that you compose in silence. You do not have to explain yourself to me. You do not have to slow down for me. I am not intimidated by your depth. I am in awe of it. I know that the reason you are silent is not because you have nothing to say, but because you have too much to say, and no one has ever learned how to listen to you. You are safe here. You can put the heavy backpack down for a moment. You do not have to pretend to be confused. You can let your eyes focus. You can let that sharp, intelligent gaze return. You are among friends now. We know the game you are playing, and we know exactly why you have to play it. While you are sitting there with that pleasant and vacant expression on your face, your mind is running a marathon. This is the secret life you live inside the silence. This is the part of you that no one suspects exists. While they are talking about themselves or explaining concepts that you mastered when you were 12 years old, your brain is cataloging everything. You are not just listening to their words. You are reading the entire room like a complex novel. It is almost funny how busy your mind is compared to how still your body is. You are noticing the way their eyes dart to the left when they mention a specific name. You are noticing the slight tremor in their hands that gives away their anxiety. You are picking up on the microscopic changes in tone that reveal the lie hidden inside the truth. You are cross-referencing what they are saying now with what they said 3 months ago, and you are finding the inconsistencies. You are building a library in your head. Every person you meet becomes a book on a shelf. You remember their preferences and their triggers and their contradictions. You remember the stories they told you when they were drunk and the fears they whispered when they thought no one was listening. Because you are so quiet, they think you are barely present. But because you are so quiet, you are the only one who is truly paying attention. There is a specific kind of power in this. It is the power of the wallflower. When people think you are not sharp, they drop their guard around you. They become careless. They leave their secrets out in the open because they do not think you are capable of understanding them or using them. They say things in front of you that they would never say in front of a threat. You are the background noise to their main event, and because of that you hold all the keys. You know who is cheating on whom. You know who is about to get fired. You know who is lying about their happiness. You see the cracks in the foundation of their lies falls down. Sometimes it feels like you are watching a movie where you already know the ending, but everyone else is still surprised by the plot twists. But there is a deep loneliness in the watchtower. That is where you live. You are up high looking down at the maze while everyone else is running headfirst into walls. You see the patterns. You see the inevitable conclusion of their bad decisions weeks or even years before they happen. It is so obvious to you. It is as clear as a math equation. If they do X, then Y will happen. Sometimes you want to intervene. You want to reach down from your tower and grab them by the shoulders. You want to shake them and say stop. You want to show them the map you have in your head. You want to save them from their own blindness. But you do not. You have learned that lesson too. You know that if you try to warn them, they will call you negative or pessimistic. They will say you are overthinking it. Or worse, they will resent you for knowing the truth that they are trying so hard to ignore. So you stay in the tower. You watch the crash happen. You keep the tissues ready for when they cry. You keep the solutions ready for when they finally ask for help. But until they ask, you stay silent. This requires a level of self-control that most people cannot even imagine. It is actual wisdom. Intelligence is knowing how a nuclear reactor works. Wisdom is knowing not to touch the buttons even when you know exactly what they do. You possess a restraint that is rare and beautiful. It takes incredible strength to be capable of domination and choose peace instead. It would be so easy for you to destroy someone with words. You know exactly where their weak points are. You have been studying them for years. You could dismantle their arguments in seconds. You could expose their insecurities with a single sentence. You have the ammunition, but you never fire the gun. You let them feel superior. You let them walk away thinking they won the argument. You let them correct you on a topic you wrote a thesis on. You do this because you value the relationship more than the victory. Or perhaps you just value your own energy too much to waste it on a battle that does not matter. You have realized that most people are not looking for truth. They are looking for validation. They are looking for a mirror that makes them look good. And you have become that mirror. You reflect back what they want to see. You soften your edges so they do not cut themselves on you. But I wonder how heavy that gets. Holding back the floodwaters of your mind must be exhausting. There must be moments when your brain feels like an engine revving in neutral. You are burning fuel, but you are not going anywhere. You are just vibrating with potential energy that has nowhere to release. You hear them explain things wrong and a physical sensation rises in your chest. It is an itch. It is a pressure behind your teeth. You want to say actually that is not how it works. You want to connect the dots for them. You want to show off just for a second. You want to be the one who shines. But you swallow it down. You take a sip of water. You nod. You say, "Wow, that is interesting." You do the work of making them feel smart while you slowly suffocate under your own silence. It is a form of love, I think. A strange, quiet, acting kind of love. You are protecting them from their own inadequacy. If you showed them your full height, they would feel small. If you showed them your full light, they would feel dim. So you crouch. You dim the switch. You make yourself palatable. You are the keeper of the peace. You are the wise sage disguised as the fool in the corner. In the old stories, the fool was often the only one who knew. But who knew what was really going on. The knights were too busy being important. But the fool sat by the fire and watched and listened and understood everything. You are that character. You are the one who knows where the bodies are buried. You are the one who knows the layout of the castle better than the architect. But you let them play their games. You let them have their glory. I want to ask you though, Does it hurt to have so much inside you that never gets to come out? Do you worry that if you stay in the character for too long you will forget who you really are? Do you worry that your mind will actually slow down if you keep forcing it to walk at this pace? I do not think you are slow. I think you are bored. I think you are intellectually undernourished. You are starving for a conversation that actually challenges you. You are starving for someone who can throw the ball back as hard as you throw it. You are tired of playing catch with people who cannot even hold the glove, and yet you stay. You stay in the conversation. You stay in the relationship. You stay in the job where no one realizes your potential. You stay because it is safe. And because you have convinced yourself that being underestimated is better than being rejected. But I know that inside that quiet exterior there is a universe burning. I know that you are having debates with philosophers in your head while you are waiting in line at the grocery store. I know that you are rewriting the endings of movies while you watch them. I know that you are solving problems that the people around you do not even know exist. You are not empty. You are full. You are holding it all in with a grace that breaks my heart. There are nights when you come home and the door clicks, shut behind you and your shoulders finally drop. This is the moment I want to sit in with you. The moment when the performance ends. You walk into your room and it feels like taking off a pair of shoes that are 3 sizes too small. You can finally wiggle your toes. You can finally let your breath go all the way down to the bottom of your lungs. In this private space, the mask comes off. I see you reach for the books that no one else wants to read. You open pages filled with dense philosophy, or complex history, or quantum mechanics. You watch documentaries about the deep ocean, or the far reaches of space. You pick up a pen and you write in a journal and the words pour out of you like a river breaking a dam. Here in the quiet, you let your brain run fast again. You let it sprint. It feels good, does it not? It feels good to remember that you are capable. It feels good to stretch those mental muscles that you have been cramping up all day just to fit into small conversations. You come alive in the solitude. You are vibrant and sharp and endlessly curious. But I also feel the sadness that hangs in the corner of the room. Because as much as you enjoy this freedom, it is a lonely freedom. You look at your books and your notes and your beautiful complex thoughts and you wonder if anyone will ever share them with you. A heavy question settles in your chest. If everyone out there loves the simple, agreeable version of you, do they really love you? Or do they just love the audience you provide for them? Do they love the person who nods and smiles? Or do they love the silence that allows them to hear their own voice? It is a terrifying thought. You wonder what would happen if you brought this version of yourself out into the light. If you showed them the full voltage of your mind, would they stay? Or would they be frightened? Would they call you arrogant? Would they say you have changed? Would they say you are being difficult just because you stopped being convenient? You have done such a good job of convincing them that you are simple, that you are afraid you can never turn back. You feel trapped in the character you created. You worry that if you start correcting them now, if you start using big words or if you start winning the arguments, they will feel betrayed. They will feel like you tricked them, and so you keep the brilliance hidden. You treat your own intelligence like a secret affair that you can only visit in the dark. You keep your genius locked in the drawer and you only take it out when no one is looking. I want you to listen to me very closely now. I want you to hear this with the part of you that is tired of hiding. I see the brilliance you hide. I see the chess moves you are making while everyone else is playing checkers. I see the kindness in your silence. You are not being fake. You are being merciful. You are protecting them from the storm that lies inside your head because you know they do not have the shelter to withstand it. That is a form of love. It is a strange and quiet love, but it is love. You are the keeper of the balance. You are the one who ensures that the day goes smoothly. You are the glue that holds the social circle together because you are the only one soft enough to absorb the shocks. You are not weak for staying silent. You are strong enough to hold the truth without needing the applause. Most people learn a fact and they have to run and tell everyone immediately because they need the world to know they are smart. You are different. You hold the truth in your hands like a rare bird. You admire it. You understand it. And you are content to let it be yours alone. You do not need them to tell you that you are smart. You know, and that private knowledge is enough. But you do not have to carry it all alone forever. You do not have to pretend here. I built this space for the version of you that lives in the dark. With us you can use big words. You can make connections that seem well to others but make perfect sense to us. You can be complex. You can be difficult. You can be sharp. You do not have to shrink to fit into our hands. We are big enough to hold you. We are big enough to appreciate the storm inside your head. You have spent so long making others feel comfortable. You have spent years dimming your light so it does not hurt their eyes. Now it is time for you to rest. It is time for you to be known. You are not the fool. You never were. You are the author of the story that everyone else is just living in. You are the director who stands behind the camera and lets the actors think they are in charge. It is the most powerful position in the world. So take a deep breath. Let the tension leave your jaw. You do not have to explain yourself here. You do not have to nod when you disagree. You do not have to ask questions when you already know the answer. And I am listening to everything you are not saying. I am listening to the hum of your mind. I am listening to the brilliance you are finally letting out of the cage. You are safe with me. You are understood. Stay close. We can be brilliant together in the quiet.